6-minute podcast. Business, study, life.
Ever get that nagging feeling? Like something's unfinished. Like you left the stove on.
Oh, yeah, totally. Or like when you're right in the middle of a great book and then, bam, gotta go to work. Ugh,
Yeah.
just crazy.
Well, get this. It's not just you. Turns out there's a psychological reason for it, and it's called the Zeigarnik effect.
Zeigarnic effect.
Yep, named after this Lithuanian psychologist, Bluma Zeigarnik. Basically, back in the 1920s, she noticed that waiters remembered orders better before the food was served.
Interesting. I mean, makes sense, right? Got to keep it straight till the food's out.
Exactly. But here's the thing. It applies to way more than just taking orders. Today, we're going to deep dive into the Zeigarnik effect, see how it works, and more importantly, how we can use it to, actually get stuff done.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
So this whole Zeigarnik effect thing, it's all about how our brains latch on to unfinished tasks, like way more than the ones we've checked off our list.
Right. Like there's this mental tension, this open loop in our brain that just keeps these unfinished things front and center. And it kind of bugs us until we close it.
So is this a good thing, this mental tension? Are we supposed to, just let it bug us?
Well, think of it like a built-in motivation system. That tension can actually be helpful. It can push us to finish what we started.
That's kind of cool. It's our brain's way of saying, hey, you started this, now go finish it.
Exactly. Let's say you're writing a report and you have to stop before you're completely finished. Chances are you'll keep thinking about it, wanting to get back to it.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But how do we actually make this work for us? Consciously use this Zeigarnik effect?
One way is to break down large tasks into smaller ones. And here's the trick. Intentionally leave some of those smaller tasks unfinished.
Wait, so you're saying I should purposefully leave things undone?
In a way, yes. It's all about creating those open loops strategically. That way you're basically using the Zeigarnik effect to, keep that momentum going.
Huh, interesting. It's like tricking your brain into staying focused. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, our research also mentioned something about studying. What's the deal with that?
Oh, yeah. Ever heard that taking breaks while studying actually helps you learn better? Well, that's the Zeigarnik effect in action. The interruption creates a bit of mental tension, makes your brain work harder to hold on to that info.
So, stepping away from that textbook for a few minutes is actually a good thing? I wish I knew that back in college.
Absolutely. It gives your brain a chance to, process and encode the information.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got this mental tension that could be good for productivity and learning. But doesn't it get a little overwhelming sometimes? I mean, we're constantly bombarded with stuff to do, emails to answer.
Right, and that's where things can get tricky because think about it. Every unread email, every unfinished task, it all adds a little more mental tension. And if we don't manage it well, it can lead to, burnout.
So what's the solution? How do we keep this Zeigarnik effect from turning against us?
It's all about learning to close those loops and being deliberate about it.
Okay, so, what does that look like in real life?
Well, for emails, instead of letting your inbox run your day, set specific times to check it. And when you do, make a decision about each email. Can you respond right away? Great, do it. Need more time? Schedule it. Can someone else handle it? Delegate it.
So you're basically saying don't just let emails pile up, deal with them and move on.
Exactly. And the same principle applies to tasks, projects, really anything. The key is to consciously close those loops. Free up that mental space.
Like hitting the reset button on your brain. Love it.
Yeah.
Now, what I found really interesting is that the Zeigarnik effect isn't just about tasks and to-do lists. It can impact our relationships, even how we deal with our emotions.
Oh, absolutely. Unresolved conflicts, past hurts, even lingering doubts. Those can all act like open loops in our personal lives.
And I'm guessing those unresolved issues can really weigh us down.
Definitely. They drain our energy, hold us back from moving forward. It's important to find healthy ways to address them.
So how do we apply this whole Zeigarnik effect to, these more personal, emotional loops?
It might mean having that tough conversation you've been putting off. Or maybe seeking professional help to process some difficult emotions. Even journaling can be a great way to gain clarity and perspective.
So it's not just about getting things done, it's about getting things resolved, finding closure.
Exactly. Acknowledge those open loops and then make a conscious decision to address them.
Wow. We've covered a lot today, from unfinished tasks to lingering emotions. It seems like the Zeigarnik effect is at play in just about every area of our lives. So as we wrap up, what's one loop you think our listeners could close today? Something that could boost their productivity or maybe even bring a little more peace of mind?
That's a good question. It could be something small, like finally cleaning out that junk drawer. Or maybe it's something bigger, like reaching out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Whatever it is, just recognizing those open loops and taking that first step towards closing them can make a huge difference.
Great advice. Thanks for joining us today. And remember, sometimes a little unfinished business can actually be a good thing as long as you're the one in control. Until next time.
6-Minute Podcast. Business, study, life.